Gran Turismo, based on the unbelievable, inspiring true story of a team of underdogs, a struggling working-class gamer, a failed former race car driver, and an idealistic motorsport exec who risk it all to take on the most elite sport in the world. Castlevania, 8.3 stars. A vampire hunter fights to save a besieged city from an army of otherworldly creatures controlled by Dracula.
We gotta pause because there is a fucking adorable, sensual being in the background of Alex. This is the first time this has happened.
A street kid trying to survive in a technology and body modification obsessed city of the future. Having everything to lose, he chooses to stay alive by becoming an Edgerunner, a mercenary outlaw also known as a cyberpunk. After a global pandemic destroys civilization, a hardened survivor takes charge of a 14-year-old girl who may be humanity's last hope.
The Last of Us. If you can hear my voice right now, congratulations, you are alive, I think. And we're feeling as alive as ever because this is the 279th episode of Tennis Podcast, and I'm here now with my very alive guest sidekick host, Alex Johns. Alex, can you confirm you are alive?
Let me check my pulse here. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I think I'm alive.
Aren't you married to a doctor? Have her check your pulse.
She'd be so disappointed in my lack of knowledge.
Alex, given the choice, would you rather live forever or live a normal amount of time but be able to time travel to the future?
Normal amount of time and time travel to the future. I feel like if you live forever, it would just like get stale, you know?
Yeah, you have
and
options
also,
to end
like,
it.
what is forever? Like, is it forever and ever, as in, like, I will outlive the heat death of the universe? And then what happens, you know? Like,
yeah, but by then... Well, Alex, this really kind of falls apart when you start breaking it down, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. But
so
seeing the future would be cool.
I'll just take the time travel option.
Yeah, I probably would too. Although living forever, I wouldn't want to live forever, but maybe like, and also, you know, like 200 years or something. But also there's the question of like, what's your health like during that time? We just don't know. We don't know in this scenario, Alex. Yeah. Anyway, Alex Johns, for the listeners might not know this, but he is a very soon to be first time baby daddy. We don't know who the mother is yet. But
Jerry's still out.
Jerry's still out on the mother. But yes, but this is the last recording we'll do, Alex, before that little bundle of joy is here. How are you feeling?
Feel good. You know, my union rep, Dr. Buster, negotiated me a very generous paternal leave program here. So from this podcast, okay. From Tennis Podcast, yeah. So I don't know. This might be news to you, but I will continue getting my paycheck while I'm not recording with you.
That is news to me. Yeah. I might need to get my legal team to look into that. What our options are there. But okay, and your union rep is Dr. Buster.
Yeah, union rep Dr. Buster. You know, he went to bat for me. So
well, I'm glad he's going to bat for somebody because he doesn't go to bat for me or this podcast. But anyway. Congrats on the baby to be, Alex.
Thank you.
I'd like to know what celebratory top 10 list you brought for us to talk about today.
So this list has nothing to do with children or babies or anything of the sort. I really felt like being my last episode for a while, I really want to go back to my roots. You know, what are my roots? We talk about sci-fi, we talk about video games, we talk about board games. So I picked video games. Today we're going to do the top 10 video game adaptations on screen. So this is both film and TV shows. Basically just a show that is an adaptation of a video game. The list comes from IMDb. It's based on the IMDb rankings, so 0 to 10 stars. I've got the top 20 in front of me. Top 10, you've probably heard of most, if not all. Probably most. There's a few that was news to me, but yeah, it's a pretty good list. Pretty fun. I've seen a good number of these. And
so these are the top 10 on-screen adaptations, basically film or TV, and it's from IMDb. And IMDb, is that user? Like, is that user ranking or critic ranking?
It is user rankings. So any registered user can cast a vote, like 1 to 10, and then they aggregate those votes to make the ranking.
Well, this is a good hybrid list because I know my friend Alex Johns. First of all, he's very smooth-skinned, very sensual, but also he loves video games and he loves series and films. And you put those two together, this sounds like a very Alex Johns list. So I'm glad to do it.
That's what I'm going for.
Okay, so video game adaptations. I don't know if I've seen a ton. Should I start guessing, or do you have anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. Go ahead and start guessing.
Let me guess something that won't be on the list, actually.
Okay.
I heard that the new Borderlands movie is pretty shitty. I have not seen it, but
that is not on the list, and I don't know if it's because it's too new. This was created 3 weeks ago, this list. So
okay. So September, we're recording this.
it's possible that it doesn't. I haven't seen it. It probably just doesn't have a lot of views on it yet, or like
It's getting
reviews
panned
on
by critics, and it's bombing. I think if I'm thinking of the right movie. Okay.
I never got interested in the Borderlands series. Most of our friend group did. I know Steven is a big,
Steven and Buster
big
are both
big
fans. Yeah.
Yeah. I never got into it, and I heard the movie was a flop, so I'm not gonna watch it.
Then let me tell you a movie that I think will be on this list, and I think it deserves to be, and that is Sonic the Hedgehog #1.
So Sonic the Hedgehog #1 is number 16 at 6.5 stars.
Oh,
and
okay.
On that same topic, number 2 is 17 at 6.5 stars as well.
Wow. Okay. Because the first Sonic was really well received. I thought it'd be on here. I like that movie. Have you seen those?
No, I never saw them. Did you see them both?
Yeah. I mean, I have kids and you don't,
right.
But I think even adults can enjoy them. They're really fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then let's stay on the kid animated topic and go with Super Mario Brothers next, which was not, if I recall, not loved by critics, but yes, loved by fans. And so I saw a nod there from you. So I'll say that's on the list, and I'll say that's around number 7.
Add 2 to that, and you're right on the dot. Number 9.
I knew it.
Yeah, so Super Mario Brothers movie came out in 2023. It's got 7.0 stars on IMDb with 247,000 ratings. The clip here, a plumber named Mario travels through an underground labyrinth with his brother Luigi trying to save a captured princess. Is that a pretty spot-on description?
I'd say that's spot on. Did you see this one?
No, I never did. I need to.
Really?
Yeah.
It's on Netflix. You should watch it.
I know. I scroll past it every day. I'm like, I should watch that.
It's fucking fun. I mean, I love how sorry, I'm probably jumping into your notes here, but I love how they took an introductory approach to the film. The plot of the movie is such that you're going in as if you've never heard of Mario, as if you've never heard of Peach and Bowser. It's like all first time. But there's still Easter eggs for everyone who is aware of the franchise. So it's a fun movie.
Yeah. It looks good. I've heard great things. It's got a star-studded cast, right? Chris Pratt as Mario. How was Chris Pratt as Mario? I heard there was some controversy, like when he was casted.
Yeah, when he was casted, there's like a meme now of like, anytime a movie comes out, it's like, it's going to be Chris Pratt doing the voice because he seems to be the voice of everything. I was worried about it, but honestly, he did fine. He did good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he did. It wasn't distracting the way I thought it would be.
It's just weird because like Mario has an official voice actor, so why not use Mario's official voice actor
and that voice
Mario,
actor has a cameo in the film.
Oh, does he?
I agree. Yeah. I think they just wanted an A-lister. Really, Jack Black as Bowser stole the show, though.
Okay.
That's it? You don't... But, Alex, you got to see this movie.
Yeah, I know. I figured when we've got a newborn at home and we've got nothing going on, we're probably going to get through a whole backlog of just shows and movies while just holding a baby in our arms,
Oh, boy. I don't miss those days. Okay, you got a good time coming up for you. All right, so Super Mario Brothers #9. I'm glad it's on this list. And I'm going to guess not on this list is the original live-action Mario Brothers movie from like the 80s.
That is correct. Not on this list.
That movie was shit. I know people love it in like a nostalgic, like cult classic kind of way, but that movie fucking sucks. I'm sorry. All right. Are there any other animated films on here?
So I want to say you are probably leaning too much into films. This list is dominated by TV shows.
I just thought of one that's animated, but not a movie, and that is Pokemon. Has to be on here. The series.
The anime series is not surprisingly on here. There is a Pokemon film, not in the top 10. It's number 14. That is Detective Pikachu.
Oh, did I see that?
Did you watch? I don't think.
I know Steven was there.
You know what? I think we did see that together. Yeah.
I saw it with Steven and at least one or two other people. And I think it might have been you. And...
that was me. I don't know why we were all together, but we were.
Yeah. We tend to avoid being together as often as possible. And I was miserable the whole time. But I did see the movie, and I thought it was all right.
I thought it was great. I enjoyed it. It was
but how much of that was like the fun of seeing Pokemon on the big screen versus like an actual quality film?
And like the art of the Pokemon was really interesting too.
I did like that. Yeah,
they dived into the realism a little bit. You know, I like the twist at the end that like his dad was Pikachu all along, and spoilers for anyone I guess that hasn't seen this 2019 movie.
I've been hanging on to this one. No, I'm going to save it because I think it might be high. So I'll go
next. So you got 2
with
movies left, and the rest of them are TV shows.
Rampage.
What is Rampage? I've never heard of that.
The Rock is in that, but it's a video game.
Is that big gorilla movie?
Yeah. But there's other creatures too, but Gorilla's one of them. That's George. Okay. Alex, his name is George.
Oh, I didn't realize I'm talking a Rampage aficionado here.
I love Rampage, and I keep waiting. You know, the N64, what do you call that? Like app on the Switch where you can play old N64 games. I keep waiting for Rampage to show up on there, and it never fucking does.
I've never heard of Rampage the game. What is it?
You've never heard of it? It was huge. No. It's a great like sleepover game in the 90s, kind of like GoldenEye was. It's where you and your friends control like basically Godzilla type monsters, and you just destroy a city together.
That sounds fun as hell.
It's fun as hell. It is. It was originally an arcade game, I believe, and then it was on the N64, and then they made the movie, and I know the movie did well. I didn't see it. So okay, I take it as not fucking on the list though. From
you say it had The Rock in it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that's not even in the top 20 on my list, because there's some movies here that I'm like, I've never heard of.
2 more movies. Okay, guide me. What are these movies? Are they animated? Live
Honestly,
action?
one of them is animated. It was made in Japan, but dubbed in the United States. It has some big name actors that did the dubbing, like Aaron Paul. His voice is in it. Lena Headey, the lady that played Cersei on Game of Thrones. And then Sean Bean. So like some big name.
Do I know the game?
Names. You probably know the series, but I don't think you've ever played it.
I've
never played the series. Yeah, it is a Final Fantasy movie. It's called Kingsglaive.
Tell me the year it came out, and then I'll tell you the ranking.
2016.
This is going to be number 8.
No, it's number 10.
I knew it.
Yeah. Kingsglaive, Final Fantasy XV. What is that? Is that 15?
Yeah.
All right. Final Fantasy 15. So
that's weird. Hang on. I know you're going to tell me this shit, but like, this is the first Final Fantasy movie, but they put 15 in the title.
Well, it's probably based on the game Final Fantasy 15.
I get it. Yeah, there's probably Final Fantasy 15, but that's got to create confusion in the marketplace, I would think, especially for people that...
Sure it did. Okay.
Anyway.
I mean, because I've never heard of this. But anyway, the plot is King Regis, who oversees the land of Lucis, commands his army of soldiers to protect the kingdom from the Niflheim Empire's plans to steal the sacred crystal, which gives Lucis its magic and power.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound good?
That makes sense. I mean, fuck. I am surprised this wasn't up for some Academy Awards.
Right?
What's the rating?
6.7 stars with only 23,000 reviews.
It's interesting that of all the movies in the world, there's not that many video game movies. I think that's going to be changing. But anyway, it's funny that in the top 10 is a movie that was rated 6.7. That's pretty low. Yeah.
Well, and what's interesting too, this is the oldest property on the list. Any other film or TV show has started later or more recently than this.
2016, I think you said.
2016, yes.
I do love Aaron Paul. And it's animated, you said?
I do believe it's animated, yes. But it's like real life-like animation.
I don't like that. I know, whatever. But to each their own. Final Fantasy, our friend Jeremy loves that series. I've known people over the years that like it, never played it, but I ain't a fucking nerd either, so.
Right. There's another Final Fantasy in the top 20. It's number 18, Final Fantasy The Spirits Within. And that one, they didn't go with a fucking number on the end of it.
Yeah, I wonder if it's even associated with this other film.
I don't know. Well, I think, and Final Fantasy fans are going to get in the comments and roast me, but I think these are like, it's an anthology series. I don't think each one is like a connected story. They're probably all in the same universe, but like, I think it's telling a different story each time, but I don't know.
Alex is probably wrong. And if you are Final Fantasy bro and you want to come at Alex, please do so and do it with a vengeance. Yeah. What's the other movie on the top 10? Or, well, give me hints for that movie.
There's one more movie on the top 10. It is very recent, within the past year or two. It didn't make huge waves, but it's got some decent big names. One of them being David Harbour from Stranger Things. Orlando Bloom is is a side character in this movie.
Yeah, I'm having like flashbacks of the trailer, but I can't pick out the game.
What's going on in the trailer?
Is it the Need for Speed or Gran Turismo? It's like one of those racing.
Yeah, there it is. Gran Turismo. You got it.
Okay. That's number 6.
That is number 8. Add 2. Basically, add 2 to all of your guesses so far, and you'd be right on. Gran Turismo 2023. It's 7.1 stars, 109,000 ratings. Based on the unbelievable, inspiring, true story of a team of underdogs, a struggling working-class gamer, a failed former race car driver, and an idealistic motorsport exec who risk it all to take on the most elite sport in the world.
I didn't see this, but I could tell from the trailer and what you said. What I like about the premise is it's not a movie in the Gran Turismo world. It's a movie about the video game Gran Turismo.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah.
Because isn't it they find a gamer that is is like a pro racer at Gran Turismo, the game, and they put him in an actual race car.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Apparently it's a true story, I guess. I don't know. I've never heard about this in real life, but I'd watch it.
Well, we know you would, but you won't, and you haven't.
This is true.
Yeah.
A certain subset of our friend group would probably be really, really into this movie.
Yeah, but I don't know if they've seen it. I wonder if they've kind of, I don't know. Wasn't Buster into Gran Turismo?
Yeah.
Or was he into...
Yeah. Well, he's part of that kind of core racing fan of our friend group. I went with him about a year or two ago to a race up in Wisconsin for fun. It was fun to watch, but like...
Hang on, you went to Wisconsin willingly?
I did, yeah.
Wow, okay.
Cool atmosphere. Racing like would be interesting for the engineering mind in me, right? Because like it's all about optimizing your a motor vehicle, right, to like take the turns fastest, and there's a lot of science and engineering behind it, which is interesting to me. But at the end of the day, you're just watching fucking cars spin in a circle. So I don't know. I can respect the sport.
Okay, Alex has taken shots at Final Fantasy and Gran Turismo. Let's see what else he's got today.
So that's all the films. All you got left are TV shows.
So here's a big one that I'm going to guess is in the top 3, and it's the one I most recently watched, and it's Fallout. I'm going to guess that's number 2 or 3.
Fallout is number 3.
Knew it.
Fallout premiered in 2024, 8.4 stars with 248,000 reviews. Very highly reviewed show. In a future post-apocalyptic Los Angeles brought about by nuclear decimation, citizens must live in underground bunkers to protect themselves from radiation, mutants, and bandits. Honestly, I think that's a pretty shit review or like tagline.
Synopsis. Yeah. It's well, I guess they don't want to give too much away, right?
I suppose. But what a good show. Such a good show.
I just finished this like maybe 2 weeks ago or less as we record. And man, I really loved it. I wouldn't say it's like in my top 10 shows ever of anything, but it's probably in my top like 30, which is pretty good. Yeah. And I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed the actors. I thought they all did a great job. And as someone, I played Fallout 4 on Xbox One. I did not play any other of the other Fallouts. So the storyline was still kind of fresh for me, even though I played Fallout 4. But have you played these games?
I've played 4 as well, but I'm familiar with the story of all. And this is a unique story. So this isn't like based on any specific game.
But is it true that like each game in the series is like the same overall story, but a different sub-story?
Yes.
Sort of
same universe, same world, but like each one starts in a different vault in a different part of the country and typically a different time period.
Because Fallout 4, you start in a vault. And you come out.
All of them.
And it's like...
You start in a vault. Okay. And Fallout 4, I think, is like the latest in the timeline. It's like 200 plus years after the bombs. Whereas the TV show is pretty quick. I wouldn't say it's right away, but... Or is it pretty far? Is the show is 200 years?
They say 200 years because the ghoul, who was the Hollywood actor...
yeah.
What was his
I
name?
know what you're talking about. Walter Goggins.
He's played by Walter Goggins. Yeah, they mentioned that he mentions he's been looking for his family for 200 years.
Okay.
And there's a few other mentions of 200 years. So yeah, it's 200 years in the future.
Yeah.
I don't know what the timeline is on Fallout 4, but anyway, for anyone who hasn't seen it, and I think there is some aversion from some people to like not watch a video game inspired movie or series because they assume, I don't care about video games, or I've never played that video game, so I'm just not going to watch it. This is a show that anyone can get into. It's post-apocalyptic, which I'm always going to watch those anyway, but it's a super unique take on the genre that you're not going to see elsewhere. So I really enjoy it.
My wife is not a video gamer and does not like post-apocalyptic shows, but she loved watching this with me.
You told me she played Pikmin.
Well, she is a Pikmin. Yeah, she's a cutesy gamer.
Wives, am I right?
Am I right?
Okay, so Fallout number 3. I'm glad it made the list. I think I might know what number 1 is, so I'm going to try to save it.
So Fallout was the only Amazon Prime show on the list.
There was another one I did not see. It might have been Prime or Apple, actually, and that was Tetris. There's like a Tetris series.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be on the list too. It was not. No, that was on Apple. I think the reason is that was not based on the video game. It was based on the people that made the video game.
I guess, but who cares? I mean, Gran Turismo wasn't necessarily about the video game. I mean, I guess it kind of was, but...
Fair.
Okay.
Did you see Tetris?
No. I mean, it looked interesting. I might watch it someday, but I have not seen it.
Yeah, that's another on my list. It looks interesting. I'd like to see it, but just haven't got around to it.
Are there any Nintendo properties on here?
I do think one of these is Nintendo, but it's not a traditional one that I've played.
Not like a Mario or a...
Not a Mario. It's old.
I
talked
talked with Steven about this at some point on a past episode, but like Nintendo's been surprisingly uninvolved in Hollywood until recently. Like, they had so many properties that I'm sure studios have come to them over the decades and been like, hey, let's do this, let's do that.
A Zelda movie would be so sick.
They're doing it. They're doing a Zelda movie. Yeah.
No.
They're making it. Yeah, they are.
Who's they? What theater? Or what production company?
I know I've heard that announced. Let me look.
Well, that's got me excited.
I don't think they've started production or anything. Yeah, here it is. It's on IMDb. It's in development.
Okay.
Director Wes Hall. Writer Connolly.
I feel like Zelda would be better as a TV show.
Yeah, I do too.
You could kind of have it episodic. You know, the whole point of Zelda is you're going around and collecting things that you need to like do the final boss. How cool would it be? Like each episode is like focused on like collecting a thing, and then maybe you do a movie at the end for the final boss battle. I don't know.
Anyone got a nerd alert sound effect I can insert real quick? I agree. That sounds better. You could also do that with a movie, though. You could have a 8-series movie, kind of like Harry Potter or Game of Thrones, or not Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings.
That's true.
But yeah, I'm excited for that. Okay, I think there's a lot of potential with Nintendo properties. Star Fox, Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong would be more like a Super Mario Brothers movie, sort of.
Yeah,
approach.
That could be a kid's movie. I could see. They got to have the DK rap in it.
Can you perform that?
Donkey Kong, DK. Donkey Kong is here. He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. He's bigger, faster, stronger too. He's the first member of the DK crew. Oh, DK. Donkey Kong. That's all. And it just repeats.
Sorry, I just heard something out there, and I think I'm home alone. So I'm like, what was that noise?
It's DK. Coming for you.
Was that rap from the N64 game?
It was... I think
it had to have been.
Yeah, Donkey Kong 64, yeah.
Okay, the worst in the series, just saying. Anyway, okay, thanks so much for that great performance, Alex. You said there's another series on here that may have been a Nintendo property long ago.
Old Nintendo property, yes.
But it's a recent series.
It's on Netflix, 2017 through 2021, so there's multiple seasons.
No.
Not Avatar, not based on a game. They are making an Avatar game, I think. I don't know.
Is the series on Netflix animated?
Yes, it is animated.
I'm not going to get this.
I know
is it like
Steven
anime?
has played this game. It's ish. Yeah. It's based on so the premise is a vampire hunter. Does this mean anything to you?
Oh, that does sound The Witcher. No, that's not a vampire, but The Witcher, I'm going to guess that next. Vampire hunter, I don't know it.
It's called Castlevania. Have you heard of Castlevania?
Oh, I have heard of that. It's number 5.
That is number 5. Good job. Yeah, Castlevania, 8.3 stars. So yeah, I think it's finished 2017 through 2021. It says there's 32 episodes. I don't know how many seasons that breaks out to. Oh, 4 seasons. Yeah, a vampire hunter.
If you just read further in your notes, you would have known.
Fights to save a besieged city from an army of otherworldly creatures controlled by Dracula. So yeah, I don't know anything about Castlevania. I know that
I didn't know Steven played that.
I know he has in the past. He's talked about it. I don't think it's like one of his favorites or anything. But yeah,
I just thought
what I know about it is it's like a 2D type of jumping around game. Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
Okay, so like Mario.
Yeah, ish.
What does
I
that
guess.
mean? A jumping
I don't
around
know.
game?
I think he's got like a chain he can throw out.
Like a platformer? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, platformer. That's the word.
But don't they have newer Castlevanias that are like modernized?
You're asking the wrong guy.
All right, Alex. All right.
I was just say it's a highly rated show, so yeah. There's only the top 5 are 8 stars and plus, and below that it's a pretty significant drop off.
I'm going to give you a hot take here, and maybe I'm forgetting something because this is off the top of my head, but I can't think of a single vampire-based movie or series that I came away being like, that was good.
That is a hot take.
You?
I
know there's Dracula.
You love the Twilight series.
That's true. That's the exception I was trying to think of. But I've actually seen some of those, and like the Blade movies, and
yeah, I'm with you. I don't know. There was that movie that was about vampires. They essentially took over the earth, but like they still have a society.
Oh, that's
you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
That one was
a neat
right.
movie.
Salem's Lot, which is a book. Oh, it's been movies too, but the book Salem's Lot by Stephen King I did like, but I'd say there's a lot more misses than hits for me in the vampire genre.
I would agree.
Isn't Resident Evil? That's not vampire based, right? That's zombie based.
Resident Evil, that is number 13.
Okay, well, there's a bunch of those movies. And I want to say there's a series for that too.
Yeah, just the original movie, 2020 or 2002, is what's on this list.
Okay, I'm gonna sharply change topics. By the way, sorry to all the vampires out there listening. Nothing personal. But you mentioned Steven likes Castlevania. Well, another video game series Steven loved, although I don't think it's been well reviewed, but I'm going to guess it anyway, is the series Halo on Paramount Plus.
Okay, Halo. That was the biggest shock to me. Halo is on the list. You want to guess where it is?
7?
It's number 6.
Wow.
Yeah, really surprised me too, because like you like you said, it was very not well reviewed. Like, I was pumped for this show. I was going to go and get myself a Paramount Plus subscription just to watch this show. And then I saw all the reviews come out and how it's just not faithful at all to the source material. And said, fuck it. And I haven't watched it still. But I heard that the second season, they actually did, like, kind of redeemed themselves a little bit. So maybe that's what's kind of buoying them up in the ratings.
Is there more coming? More seasons?
No, they canceled it after the 2.
Does the video game series Halo have much of a story to build off of?
It's got a rich story.
I've never played them.
Yeah. No, Halo has like one of the coolest sci-fi stories like of all time. I mean, the whole premise is like it's a future humanity, right? And they interact with like essentially a alien death cult, if you will. It's just this empire that just like their future state of the universe is for everyone to be dead, basically. And so they're like fighting this death cult, the Covenant, and throughout they discover the Flood, which is like this zombie alien creature. And it's just, there's like Halo rings, and then there's a whole bunch of shit going on. It's so cool. And apparently they just like, they have Master Chief in this show. I probably need to watch it so I can understand it. But
is this another show you're going to critique without having seen it yet?
Yeah, I'm just basing on the critics' reviews. But anyway, so Halo, 7.3 stars, 98,000 ratings. So very surprising there. 2 seasons. With the galaxy on the brink of destruction, Master Chief John 117 leads his team of Spartans against the alien threat known as the Covenant. See, that sounds cool.
Are there any tits in it?
Probably.
Probably gave it a few points there.
I feel like a lot of the criticism came from like there's a lot of focus on like civilians and like towns that are being in peril and like stuff like that, and they want the focus to be on like the Spartans, right? That's the core of the game, the Halo Master Chief people. So
we're sticking on Halo, but what you said reminded me of something in the Fallout series that I liked, which was some of my favorite parts of that series was seeing the civilian side, like how the everyday people are living in like that town of Philly.
Philly.
So like
F-I-L-L-Y.
yeah. So for that, I did like that approach in Fallout. But you're saying like,
and I think there's just different
Halo.
mediums. Yeah, different mediums, and I feel like none of the townsfolk were like point of view characters, if you will. But I feel like I heard that in this show there's a lot of like side characters that kind of got fully developed stories that which time could have been used on like Master Chief and like the actual campaign of the war and stuff like that.
Do you know if Steve? I feel like I talked to Steven after season 1 and he said it was shit.
I thought he was in the same boat as me of just hearing how shit it was and not finding it worth getting a Paramount Plus subscription to do so.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
And like, had I already had a subscription, I probably would have just watched it just because it's Halo, right?
You get a free trial, bub.
But yeah, no.
I got a trial to Paramount Plus to watch SpongeBob, and I'm glad I did. But I did cancel that. Yeah. I would say out of all the like major main players in the streaming game, Paramount Plus is the weakest library. Although it is great for some Nickelodeon nostalgia. Yeah. But that's not going to carry you for months and months, Would you agree with that? What would you put at the bottom of the list as far as the main streamers?
Probably Peacock.
I like Peacock. They have some good true crime stuff on there. They got The Office, they got Parks and Rec, and they got a lot of the like stuff my kids watch because they're part of Universal, so like the Minion movies and shit. So I won't sit here and let you talk shit about the cock.
Okay, we rock the cock. Speaking of Peacock, there is one Peacock show, so I'll go over
Twisted
what
Metal.
Services. Whoa. Okay. You've heard of that?
The only reason that was on my mind is I just watched something on Peacock in the last few days, and there were trailers for Twisted Metal.
Okay.
Coming up.
So when I made this list, I saw that. I'd never heard of the TV show. I've never heard of the game. I had no idea what Twisted Metal was. So yeah, let's talk about it. Where do you think it's on the list?
7 seems too low. 4 seems too high, but I'll go 4.
It is 7.
We got to pause because there is a fucking adorable, sensual being in the background of Alex. This is the first time this has happened.
It's the first time I've recorded with my door open.
So we're going to continue this episode. Just know that there is a very adorable black kitty in the background of Alex's shot, which you can see if you watch this episode on YouTube, because we post the video versions of every week's episode on YouTube. You should go watch it. So anyway, back to Twisted Metal. It's number 7.
Number 7, 7.3 stars, 28,000 ratings. So the lowest amount of ratings on this list. 1 season so far on Peacock. Let's see, what is the premise? It follows a motor-mouthed outsider offered a chance at a better life, but only if he can successfully deliver a mysterious package across a post-apocalyptic wasteland.
I should watch it because it sounds fun. I did play the first game. I was probably 9 or 10. PlayStation.
Okay.
And because I remember the clown car named Sweet Tooth. And I believe the star of this series on Peacock is, what's his name? Mackie?
Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie, yeah. Which I like him. So... But we should probably watch this, Alex. But we know you would never get Peacock because you're a fucking snob. So
I did the free trial to Peacock years ago, so I could watch. What was that show? Brave New World.
I will commit to watching Twisted Metal if you do, but only if you do.
I'd have to get Peacock again. That's the
you
problem.
Just talked about all this downtime with the baby you're gonna have.
Yeah. What is the video game about? Is it like a story-based game or
no? Well, I haven't played it since I was probably 10 years old, but I recall it, and it's a series. I only played the first one, but it was like what would you do? It's like the battle mode in Mario Kart. It's like that, but like an adult version. So it's like cars racing and killing each other. So I think you're like shooting other cars and shit like that. It's like
that's kind of fun.
Yeah, it was fun, but it wasn't deep. I don't recall it being deep. So I mean, maybe the future games fleshed out the story, but if not, I would guess they just took a very basic idea, kind of like when they made a Battleship movie.
A Battleship.
Right?
I was going to say the
They
same
just
thing. Yeah.
take this. They take the very simple premise and just expand from there. But
Yeah.
I've heard this one's good. So, by the way, we should mention we keep talking about Alex's baby. By the time this episode comes out, the baby will already be here. So
We hope so.
we're talking to a past Alex, a past happy pre-baby, well-sleeped Alex.
This is true. This is true.
Anyway.
All right. So you got 3 left. You're doing really well. You want to recap the top 20 of what we have so far?
You're going to go back to 20? All right.
I think so. Yeah. So 20, we have the Angry Birds movie.
Oh my
God. See
that? I didn't think of that. No, I did see the first one. It was all right.
Yeah. 2016. 19 was Need for Speed, 2024 movie. 18, I already talked about Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within. 17 and 16 were Sonic 2 and Sonic 1. 15 was Silent Hill. I am not familiar with this film or video game.
I never played the game. I know what it is. I did see the first movie. I don't remember much about it. I think people liked it, which is on this list, so they must have.
Is it a spooky movie?
Yeah, it's too spooky for Alex.
Oh, spooky for Alex.
Horror movie.
Okay. Yeah, 2006. So that was pretty early. 14 was Detective Pikachu. 13, Resident Evil, the oldest on this list at 2002. Actually, I take that back. Final Fantasy Spirits Within was 2001. That's the oldest. 12, Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time.
I didn't know that was a video game.
I didn't know they made movies.
I heard of the movie. I didn't know they made games. Oh. Was that the one with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal. Wow. Number 11 was Warcraft. Based on...
Yeah, that just came out like maybe 2 years ago, I want to say.
No, 2016.
Oh, fuck. All right, whatever.
Yeah, an orc horde invades the planet of Azeroth.
You could have just stopped at orc horde. I've heard enough. I don't need to see it.
Yeah. All right, number 10, you had Kingsglaive, Final Fantasy 15.
And by the way, I don't know why you had to talk about my first wife.
The orc horde.
The joke was delayed, but I felt it was still worth getting out. Okay,
yeah, it was worth it. Okay, 10, Kingsglaive. 9 was Super Mario Bros. Movie. 8 was Gran Turismo. 7, Twisted Metal. 6 was Halo. 5 was Castlevania. You're missing 4. 3 was Fallout, and then you're missing 2 and 1.
I think I know what 2 of them are, but go ahead with what you're going to say.
I was just going to say we have 2 Netflix and 1 HBO left on the list.
Exactly right. The 2 Netflix. Okay, one of them is The Witcher, and that's going to be number 2 on the list.
The Witcher is not on the list.
What?
Yeah, Witcher.
Not even in the top 20?
Not even in the top 20. Witcher could be two reasons. One, it was incredibly poorly reviewed.
Was it? I thought everyone loved it.
Season 1 was fantastic, but they just completely shit the bed with 2, and then apparently 3. I didn't even watch 3. So I watched 1. I was super pumped. I loved it. It was great. Henry Cavill was awesome. Season 2 came out, and they just kept making weird decisions with the source material. And there's a bunch of interviews that came out with the showrunners and the writers, basically like having contempt for the source material themselves and basically saying they can make a better story. And there's a bunch of back and forth. And this is why Henry Cavill ended up leaving, because Henry Cavill is a big nerd himself, respects the source material. And he was always at odds with the showrunners of like, this isn't how the story should go. And they're just like, you're paid to act, just fucking act. And so that's why he left. And they're replacing him with like someone else. I don't remember who.
I missed all this drama. I didn't see any of them. I never played the games. I just knew at least season 1 was like everyone was talking about it.
I think you would really like season 1.
Well, I'm not going to fucking watch season 1 if the rest
typically like Monster Hunter type of show. Yeah, but I think season 1 as it can stand as its own show. It's very like monster of the week, go and fight this monster, but there is an overarching story going kind of underneath. But like it was well done. But yeah, just really shit the bed, and I think that's why it's not on the list. The other reason it might not be on the list because the video game is based on a book series, so maybe they're considering a book adaptation rather than a video game adaptation. I don't know.
Did the book come first?
Book did come first.
I would guess that's why. I would guess, but I don't know. Maybe it's not considered eligible for this list.
This was very universally just hated. So I could also see people just review bombing it like crazy.
Interesting. All right. I missed all this drama. I like Henry Cavill, or Cavill, listener of the show as well. And you know what? Henry Cavill is a Tennis Pod Plus member, and I think this is a good place to sneak in a plug because I had this plug prepared, not knowing that we're going to talk about movies today. So this works great. Alex, what do these movies have in common? Terminator, Saw, Friday the 13th, Star Wars.
I don't know. You're going to have to tell me.
They all have a billion sequels.
Okay.
But which film has the most sequels? You can find out in our new bonus episode where Stephen Clark was on the show, and I asked him that same question. He guessed the top 10 movie franchises with the most sequels.
That's a good list.
Thank you. I fucking know. You can join Stephen and Alex, I guess, in guessing this list on TennisPod Plus, which is just what we call our Patreon, and you can sign up now with a free 7-day trial at tennispod.com/PLUS. You also get access to about 70 other bonus episodes right away, and there's more added every month. Again, go to tennispod.com/plus, or you can also sign up with one tap inside the Apple Podcast app. Thank you for indulging me. So from one movie to another, let me guess another's. Is the HBO show number one?
Number 2.
Okay, I'll guess that next then. That's the one I've been hanging on to, and that's The Last of Us.
Last of Us, that is correct. Did you watch this?
I did, and I don't know if you did because you might think it's too spooky for Alex.
Oh, no, I watched this. I loved it.
But Alex is afraid of the spooks.
Yeah, but different kind of spooks, you know? This is it's just different kind of spooks.
Okay, fine. Last of Us, number 2. I knew it.
Number 2, yeah. So 2023, 8.7 stars, 560,000 reviews. After a global pandemic destroys civilization, a hardened survivor takes charge of a 14-year-old girl who may be humanity's last hope. Stars Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey.
They both did an amazing job. Love
Yes.
this series. I can't wait for season 2. I was so fucking mad at Pedro's character at the end of the finale of season 1. I was like, why did you do that? But I'm not going to give any spoilers because it's a recent show and it's new. But I think it's in my top 10 best shows I've ever seen, not just in the video game genre. And it's only one season, so it's young, it's got time to fuck things up, but so far so good.
So you like this better than Fallout?
I did.
I put them both pretty equal. I think they're both really good. This one's fantastic, and I think
they're different too because Fallout is more of like a blend of comedy, action, horror, thriller, adventure, and it leans on comedy pretty well too. Last of Us is like straight horror. And I wouldn't even actually horror's not the word. It's more
of a thriller suspense type of show.
Yeah. So they're different. But anyway, you were about to say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I think Last of Us they did it right because the video game developers are the main developer is a co-showrunner to the actual series, which I think helped. Yeah. Because a lot of times, the owners of the IP will just sell it off to a movie theater or a studio, right? To create whatever. And that's what's happened with Game of Thrones, right? George R.R. Martin was involved, but not,
He's like a consultant, I think.
Yeah, and so it came back to bite him. But in this point, like Naughty Dog is the company that made the video game Last of Us, and they are the final say. So they can't make something that the original creators don't agree with, which is nice.
But it's like the story is all just right there in the game. You don't have to do much. You just got to follow the game. And it's like they should have done with Halo, according to you.
Like they should have done with Halo, should have done with Witcher, should have done with fucking House of the Dragon. I'm still so mad
Game
at
of Thrones.
House of the Dragon. Game of Thrones, they ran out of source material because George R.R. Martin can't fucking finish a book.
Damn, Al. When was the last book published? We're way off topic, but
2001.
Are you serious?
He's been working for 20 fucking years on this goddamn book. I don't think it was that long, but he's been working for a long fucking time on this book. And I don't think he's ever gonna finish at this point.
I mean, when you look at him, no offense to George R.R. Martin, I know he's listening, but he doesn't look like the healthiest guy. Song of Ice and Fire. Oh, sorry, no, the A Dance with Dragons is the last one published in 2011.
Okay, 2011.
The next one is The Winds of Winter. And a 7th novel, A Dream of Spring, is also planned to follow.
Yeah. So what people think happened is that he just wrote himself into too many corners. He has too many fucking side stories spiraling off. He'd have all these ideas and he just doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to close it all out. And
there's so much pressure on him now too to get it right.
Yeah, and he actually made a blog post a while back, basically saying that he wishes he would have already been successful before starting Game of Thrones, so he wouldn't have to worry about making money on the right away. Because at the time he's got to write a book to make some money to write the next book, right? But what he would have liked to do was write the entire fucking 7 books at the same time. So that way, when he's on book 6, he can go back and like fix something in book 1 before it's actually been published. But at this point now, he's just locked into whatever he wrote, is what it is.
What are you going to do?
What can you do?
Well, that's Game of Thrones, which is not a video game series.
Not yet.
So we have 4 and 1. One is Netflix. Actually, they're both Netflix, right?
They're both Netflix. That's correct.
I'm going to need some hints because I cannot think of something on Netflix. Are either of them animated?
Both animated, yes.
Okay, I'm not going to guess them then.
One of them is like a traditional anime style show based on a pretty recent, pretty popular kind of open world video game. And then the other one it's a fantastic show, and you should definitely watch it, even if you know nothing about the video game. The title does not have the video game in it. It's like a unique title. You wouldn't know it was based on a video game, even by watching the show.
Well, let me work backwards then. What console let's work with number 4. What console did the game come out on?
Pretty much everything. Xbox One, PlayStation, PC. It's best on PC. I mean, it's a very graphics heavy, very big game that they worked on for like 10 years, made by the people that made Red Dead Redemption.
There's no Grand Theft Auto series, is there?
No, and yeah, not Grand Theft Auto either. It's the newest game from that studio that did Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto,
which is Rockstar Games, right?
Rockstar Games, yep.
I don't know that if I know that.
You're gonna kick yourself when you hear this. It was very big a few years ago.
And there's a show, and I don't know the show either.
Yeah. To be honest, I haven't seen the show. I want to. It's on my list.
You might just have to give it to
Cyberpunk.
Oh, Cyberpunk. Damn it. I am kicking myself. Yeah. Everyone watching on YouTube, you'll see my foot kicking me in the head over and over.
So the show is called Cyberpunk Edgerunners. The game is like Cyberpunk 2077, I think.
Yeah.
So the show came out in 2022. It's a mini series, so it's just one series. And that was it. 8.3 stars, 85,000 reviews. A street kid trying to survive in a technology and body modification obsessed city of the future. Having everything to lose, he chooses to stay alive by becoming an edge runner, a mercenary outlaw, also known as a cyberpunk. I played maybe 3 hours of the game. I downloaded it. It was like on super sale, on like a Steam sale or something one day, and I got it for like $10 and played it for a little bit. It was fun. It was cool. But
couldn't get into it.
It's just like at the time, it's like, who's got the time for another big game like that? Like I was into it, but like I also was into Destiny and stuff like that.
Well, you got time coming up, bub. Maybe you can get back into it. Yeah, Cyberpunk. I'm surprised I haven't even heard of the show coming out because I remember the game being a big deal, but I have not heard of a show.
Yeah, I don't know. No real big name actors or voice actors are in it. It was
to
highly
be fair,
reviewed.
I have relocated and me and my family do now live under a rock, so that could be why.
This is true.
I haven't heard.
What can you do?
Okay, number 1 is a Netflix show. Is it animated?
Netflix show. It is animated. It's a very unique style of animation. I can't really say I've seen an animation style like this. It doesn't look like a anime, but it doesn't really look like an American animation either. It's unique.
Tell me about the video game.
The video game, it's PC only. It's pretty old. I wouldn't say old, but it probably came out around the time we were in college, maybe a little bit earlier. But again, the show has nothing to do with the game. It's just the environment, the universe, and the characters are from the game. But the game itself it's not a story-driven game. It's there's a bunch of different characters. You can choose your character you want to play as. Each character has different abilities. You're fighting. It's an arena type of game where you're fighting against another team. It's called a MOBA.
That's
Massively
the game?
Online Battle Arena. No, a MOBA is what the genre. Massively Online Battle Arena. Remember when we all played Battleborn?
Yeah.
Similar style to Battleborn. 5v5. You all have different abilities, but Battleborn was first person. This is like a top-down style of the game. I'm sure you've never played it. I have played it. Steven's played it. I know our mutual friend Tucker was really into this game in college. He played the shit out of it.
God, all our friends are getting name dropped on this episode. I don't think I know this game. What is it? Tell me the game.
So the game is League of Legends.
Oh, League of Legends. Of course, I've heard of that. And the show has a different title. I don't know.
The show has a different title. You don't know it?
You just have to tell me.
Arcane. Arcane.
Okay. I've heard that now that you say it, but I knew nothing about it. I would have never guessed it.
I would put this very high on your list of shows to watch. Even knowing nothing about the game, this show was fantastic. 9.0 stars.
Dang.
Came out in 2021. They have season 2 coming out like literally this year. I'm so fucking excited. It took them like 3 years to make season 2. So it's set in utopian Piltover in the oppressed underground of Zon. The story follows the origins of 2 iconic League of Legends champions and the power that will tear them apart. So again, they basically, League of Legends has like lore. It's not in the game, but you can like read about the lore of the game. And this show is diving into that lore. So not based in the game at all, but the creators kind of created all this lore.
Kind of like we were saying with Battleship. Like you take the concept and just expand from there.
Similar, but it's just so hard to explain. But I remember my boss's boss, like some old boomer, right? Commented in a team meeting. He's like, "Hey, I just saw this show called Arcane. Has anyone heard of it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I love that show." I was like, "Did you play the video game?" He goes, "Oh, it's a video game." So like, I had no idea, that it's a game. So yeah, I really think you would like it. Amazing story.
Interesting that okay. All right. I'll give it a shot. If you say it, Alex, I'll give it a shot. I respect your opinion.
Ella Purnell, the lead in Fallout, she's
in Yellow Jackets too.
Yeah, she voices like a really like crazy character in the show, and does a really good job.
Yeah, I think her career is going to start taking off. It already has, I think, but I think even more so. Walter Goggins as well. We're going back to Fallout now, but okay, Arcane. I will give it a shot.
Everyone else should too.
Okay, Alex telling us what to do like he's fucking dictator. Okay.
It is
Dictator
my show.
Alex, do we have permission? Do we have your granted permission to go back through the top 10 now? Is that okay with you?
Sure. Yeah, let's go back through the top 10. We got number 10, Kingsglaive, Final Fantasy 15. Number 9, the Super Mario Brothers movie. Number 8, Gran Turismo. Number 7, Twisted Metal. 6, Halo. 5, Castlevania. 4, Cyberpunk Edgerunners. 3, Fallout. 2, The Last of Us. And number 1, Arcane. We both have homework. You're going to watch Arcane. I'm going to watch Gran Turismo. Not Gran Turismo. Twisted Metal. Metal.
I'm going to watch Twisted Metal too if you are.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. So it looks like on this list, I've personally seen 3. I've seen Super Mario Brothers. I've seen Fallout. I've seen The Last of Us.
Let's see. And I've seen 1, 2, 3. I've also seen 3. The top 3.
Arcane, but I said 3
Last
first, so I'm better.
You win. Yeah.
Yep. Well, Alex, I think the video game inspirations for film and series has been an untapped well of ideas and for a long time. Because video game inspired movies and TV shows is kind of a newer thing, as we see from this list. Almost everything on here is like the last 5 or 10 years. So I think we're going to see a lot more of it. Think of the potential with like a Skyrim or Grand Theft Auto. I'm sure it's coming. Red Dead Redemption. And then all the Nintendo properties we already talked about. I think there's going to be a lot of video game stuff coming out now that they've seen they can be successful with it.
Yeah, and what's interesting,
there's a lot of
Fallout
bombs too. But
yeah, with Fallout, it's a Bethesda property. And, Bethesda was very involved in the, kind of like with Naughty Dog with Last of Us, right? Bethesda very involved with the filmmaking, show making, whatever. So I could see them adapting another one of their properties for a future show, like a Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, whatever.
I'm sure they've already been approached about it. I'm sure they have.
Yep.
So, yeah, a lot to look forward to. Alex, I may never see you again after this damn baby. So it's been nice knowing you. Well, just, you might die, lack of sleep.
True. So
it's been nice knowing you. I love you. Thank you for this final recording session that there's a kitty in the background. It's been great. Is there anything you want to say to our listeners?
Yeah, just thanks for
putting
we're
up
out
with
of
time,
me all these
everybody.
years.
We're out of time. We don't have time for any of this. We're out of time. Thank you so much for listening. All right, Alex, I'll give you a few seconds. Is there anything you really want to say?
Bye.
Okay, bye. He's Alex. I'm Nick. I want to know from you, listener, what your favorite video game inspired movies and TV shows are. You can let me know on social media at @10ishpod. You can also comment on this episode directly on Spotify if you're listening there. And one last reminder is to go check out that new bonus episode on 10ishpod Plus. There's a link in the show notes. The top 10 movie franchises with the most sequels. Until then, I will be back next week with episode 280. Bye.